Biden reaffirmed his commitment to broad student loan forgiveness at a town hall in Miami on Tuesday. In response to a question from a young person concerned about student loan debt and a lack of economic opportunity, Biden responded, "You get all these degrees and you get all this debt, and you get in a position where you can't get a job because no one is hiring, or they're hiring at very low wages. I'm going to eliminate your student debt if you come from a family making less than $125,000 and went to a public university." Biden also said, "I'm going to make sure everyone gets $10,000 knocked off of their student debt, in response to economic hardships caused by the pandemic." Biden further proposed giving young people a $15,000 credit towards a down payment on their first home. "This is how people accumulate wealth," he said. "This is how people get started. We have to recognize you and advance you. You are the future." Biden, who had initially been hesitant to endorse broad cancellation of student loan debt, has embraced more dramatic steps to alleviate the burden of student loan debt in the wake of the pandemic and recent racial justice protests. The volume of student loan debt has grown enormously over the course of the past 10 years, from around $830 billion in 2010 to at least $1.6 trillion last year. Student loan debt is now the largest form of consumer debt carried by Americans, aside from mortgages. There is more outstanding student loan debt than there is credit card debt or auto loans. Over 40 million Americans have student loans. At least 70% of college graduates leave school in debt. College students were graduating with an average of $30,000 in student loans in 2013, but only 3 years later, that figure had jumped to $37,000. Meanwhile, the ability of student loan borrowers to repay their loans has flatlined. At least 1 in 4 student loan borrowers are delinquent, in default, or otherwise unable to pay their loans due to low income or economic hardship. Student loan borrowers continue to struggle financially while putting off savings, retirement, and major life decisions like buying a home. The coronavirus and associated recession have only magnified these financial difficulties for student loan borrowers. Under his plan, Biden would forgive all undergraduate federal student loan debt for borrowers with annual incomes under $125,000 who attended public colleges and universities, as well as historically black colleges and universities (HBCUs) and private minority-serving institutions (MSIs). Biden also supports $10,000 in across-the-board student loan forgiveness for all borrowers as an economic stimulus in response to the recession. He has also expressed support for Senator Warren's proposal to amend the bankruptcy code to allow student loan debt to be more easily discharged in bankruptcy.